Hello, everyone. We're back with Cash to Capital. Today was a crazy week with earnings, Fed decisions, a lot of stuff going on, and my dad has some stuff to say.
Yo, we snowed in, man. First day of Black History Month, 2026, and we snowed in down here in the Northeast. So, what better way to start off Black History Month than and a snow day with some earnings? All right, it's earnings season, and it's snowed, and we're snowed in. And the Mag 7 just had earnings. We got gold, which took a major turn for the worst south, going from 5,300 back down to 4,900. Silver took a big turn. So what does that mean? An inverse relationship with the dollar means the dollar is strengthening now that those metals or commodities actually went down. So that's an interesting play. The market is showing signs of it's kind of mixed signals. The RSI, 15-day RSI is only at 49. So that's not really a bearish signal. It's kind of mixed. But the MACD is flashing a sell signal on the SPY. So a couple of things to just be careful about. Bitcoin just dipped under 80,000. Something to look at. The 52-week low for Bitcoin, in case you were wondering, is 74,500. So we want to look at that point, 74,500, as support. If it breaks support, it could go all the way down to 69,000, and then if it breaks 69,000, then down to 40,000. So just be careful with your portfolios. Manage responsibly. Remember, if you're trading, be careful when the market goes down. If you're investing, you should be dollar cost averaging in, not worrying about the dips. Okay.
Sure. Well, what company you want to start with?
So Mag 7, you talk about before our pre-show, we talked about Apple and we talked about Microsoft. And why don't you talk about those earnings and Tesla?
For sure. Yeah. So we can start with Apple. Apple actually had a strong quarter. They actually crushed on their iPhone sales, which was good. But still, the major concern around Apple was AI and what they're gonna be doing with AI moving forward. I think their partnership with Gemini kind of de-risks, what they're doing with AI. And I actually kind of think it's a good thing they don't have any like AI products right now. If you look at a lot of companies that are coming out with AI products, a lot of them just aren't good and some of them just don't work. So I think, it's good that Apple's actually taking time to adapt, with AI instead of just rushing something out.
Any word on what Apple's prospects are for AI? Are they looking to acquire a company? Because they still have been a laggard in that space.
Yeah, so I think with Apple, the really only thing that I know of or what I've heard from them is pretty much the partnership with Gemini, having Gemini power their super intelligence. But I do think that's great for them and AI and for the AI initiatives moving forward.
Yeah, I'm Apple has just the best products on the earth. iPad, iPhone. What are the things that go in your ear?
AirPods.
AirPods.
Yeah.
And then you got to go to them to get those things fixed. So the maintenance and services, they're gonna make money on that stuff too. And anytime they do upgrades or them jokers, they're savvy. They'll be like, oh well, you can't have the iPhone 4 or iPhone 5, so those are discontinued, and you're not going to be able to get the update. So you're going to have to get the iPhone 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 16. So they're always going to be able to make money, and their phones don't really change that much. No, so Samsung did something very interesting. They just came out with a phone that's $200, and I was looking at that. So they're looking. They know that with this inflationary period, what do they call it? What are they calling for the midterms in politics that everything is so expensive? I forget the term they're using, but Samsung is looking at that. Affordability is the term. Affordability is very tough right now. So folks are looking for better options. And iPhone 16, those phones cost over $1,000. But Samsung said let's get a phone that has a decent amount of memory, and we're going to have a price point of $200. So Apple better be careful that Samsung don't come in with the low end customer and clean their clock.
For sure. Yeah. So you want to talk about Microsoft?
No, only thing I want to talk about
Yeah.
Microsoft is that it was an overreaction to earnings, and that if you own Microsoft or want to get into Microsoft, this is a good time to get in because they are still uh, still working on a high level, efficient levels. That's the only thing I would say. I don't know. The particulars of the earnings and why they dropped, but I know this is Microsoft. It's almost like This is Sparta, okay? And if you know anything about Sparta, you're gonna bet on Sparta, okay? So Microsoft, anything about history, you ain't betting against Sparta, okay? Or what's that dude's name? Le-
Um,
Leonidas, kid.
yeah.
Okay. So Microsoft is a play out of those Mag 7. I think it's the only one of those. Amazon's reporting next week, which is
Yeah.
interesting. So people are looking, they're going to look for Amazon because people are saying that this holiday season was one of the biggest in history. So look for Amazon to make a move. Meta, why don't you talk about Meta's earnings?
Yeah, I just want to say something about Microsoft real quick.
Oh, go ahead.
Um, yeah, I do think it's a still good buy. Definitely dropped, around like 10% after earnings. And essentially, from what I've seen from Microsoft, is that obviously increased capex spend, which
Uh-huh.
investors aren't happy about, which pretty much every tech company is doing.
Yeah.
But also their cloud backlog. So pretty much the revenue they're gonna get from companies in their cloud, pretty much 45% of it has come from OpenAI in the last quarter. But a lot of people were concerned that, Microsoft not diversifying the revenue, and they're pretty much just an entire bet on OpenAI. And it's also raised some circular, financing concerns as well. I'll definitely keep that in mind if you're looking to buy Microsoft.
And that's an interesting contradiction to Meta, who increased their capex spend, but they're saying that the capex spend is actually helping them to because they beat on the top and bottom line a lot. So Meta really jumped. Like Microsoft went down 10%. I think Meta jumped 10%, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
and
I want to put
still
us I want to put us
increasing
up right real
capex spend.
quick. You see it?
Yeah,
Yeah, so if you look at Meta, it's up to 716, but in the last year, it's only up 6%. Like, it's
right.
not like one of these companies like Google or something else that's ran up a whole lot. And I still think, it has a 30 PE, 24 PE, I think, or 24 forward PE, I think is very fair. So
Yeah.
even though it's ran up after earnings, I'll still consider this a buy.
Yeah, I think a price target on that in the next year or so is probably going to be about 1,000. If it drops down under 700, people who are in it or looking to get in it, it's a good time to get in. Even with fractional shares, you don't have to buy. Remember, you don't have to buy one share for 700. My son showed you that you could do fractional shares just to get into it.
All right, and next we're gonna we're gonna talk about Tesla. Is that it?
Yeah, Tesla.
All right, next we're gonna talk about Tesla. I think Tesla on their earnings was up 3%. And it's not because of electric vehicles. I'm gonna pull this up in a second. Like you see?
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is Tesla's Optimus robot. So this is Gen 2, and Elon Musk confirmed Gen 3, and he even said that they're gonna be available to the public by the end of 2027. So by the end of next year. Investors are very happy about this. I think Tesla is kind of turning into more of a robotics company. And these robots are actually kind of funny. They kind of remind me of the movie iRobot.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Look just like it.
Yeah, but this is gonna be great for Tesla's operations. They'll be using warehouses to help assemble cars where else they need to assemble. Also, yeah, also for public consumption.
What's the current stock price?
Let's see, 430.
430. Uh last month down 6%. So they beat on the top and bottom line, right? And also, did you talk about how they're pivoting from they're actually stopping selling of a couple models, a couple Tesla models, so that they can focus on autonomous taxi. So last year, only up 6%, as you said. Tesla's one of these stocks you don't trade it, you own it. In my opinion, it's going to fluctuate, but with the robots and autonomous taxi, you're not going to lose in the long run with Tesla. So I would say stay long Tesla. Just wait for those robots to come out.
All right, for sure. Yeah, so that was it for this week's earnings. Next week we got AMD's reporting, Amazon's reporting. Any other companies I'm missing or no?
Uber.
Uber's reporting. So do you have anything else to look out for in those earnings?
Another big week for earnings.
All right, so that wraps up this week. I'll wraps up this video, and we'll see you guys next time.
Peace.